YouTube. Well, yesterday my old Citrix V rake turned into a backslash rake. Yeah, this side decided to, the frame decided to break off here. So it did that when I was about a third of the way through raking up my oats, so that slowed me down. I finished raking with just one side, which took twice as long. And then I got 8 bales rolled up, and one of these little pop-up thunderstorms that we've been having the last couple of days settled on top of me, and I got about 1.5 inches of rain in about an hour and a half. So that sort of put the kibosh to my oats baling. So I need to take that off. I've already been where the other part landed and taken the frame, take the wheels off the frame there, and take that up to the shop and weld this thing back together. And as far as the oats, I'm not sure. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning now, and it rained again about 5 o'clock. I don't know how much, but we got a pretty good shower about 5 o'clock this morning, so I don't know. There's a chance of more pop-up thunderstorms this afternoon. I don't know. If it stays dry in a couple hours, I might flip these windrows over and see if they'll dry out enough by evening to bail them up. I don't know. We'll just have to see how the day goes. Well, we've got started on this repair. The first thing I did, there was an old repair here was starting to crack again a little bit, so I got that fixed up. Now I need to get the torch and heat some of the metal here to get it all straightened back up again, so it will meet each other. I was trying to think how long I've had this thing, this old Citrix V rake, and I remember the first time that I hooked onto it, it was with my old 460 Farmall. So that would put it back in the sometime in the 1990s. So yeah, we've had this thing around quite a while. Okay, I got that end welded back on and added 3 gussets to it to try and strengthen it up. So I'll start putting the pieces back together. I did end up flipping those windrows over, the oats windrows, but it was about 4:30 by the time I got done flipping them. I'll take a look at them about 6 o'clock, but I doubt they'll be ready today. Maybe tomorrow. I've got the rake all back together, and it's about 6:15 right now. I went down and checked the windrows, the oats windrows that I'd flipped over a couple hours ago, and they are not dry enough to bale yet. So I think we're going to call it a day here right now. Okay, it's the next morning, and looks like it might be a decent day so far. The cows happen to be home this morning. They're hanging out here behind the barn. They have the run of the entire 100 acres of pasture out on the other side of the road during the summertime. They usually come up here to the buildings 4 or 5 times a week, so I see them on a pretty regular basis. They came up to visit me this morning. Anyway, I thought as long as I happen to have all this stuff parked right here, would be an opportune time to give a equipment tour of my hay equipment. I'll start here. This is my New Holland 316 baler. It lives over in the tobacco shed at my neighbor's place. I got it out a couple of days ago because I need to change a hydraulic hose on it, and of course now I need to change a tire too. But anyway, we got this in 2004, so it's been around here 16 years. The 316, they were built, I believe, in the late 70s, early 80s. I know my good friend that I used to farm with, when he was farming his dad's place, he actually bought one of these new in around 1980, 81. This was This was a pretty good baler back in its day. It's still a pretty good baler. Does a pretty decent job. I've rebuilt half of the knotters on it. Probably should do the other half, but it ties pretty good. Of course, we've got the Citrix V rake that's been around here since sometime in the mid 1990s, and I did get it all together yesterday. I'm probably going to head out in a couple hours and start raking up the clover up on the hill. And we've got my Vermeer 605L round baler. You've seen that in a I think it was my my last video. I had this out just the other day, baling up my oats until I got rained out. So I got it parked here right now. Let's see, this baler, I think we got this in 2006, 2005, 2004, something like that. It's been around here a while. back about 20, 15 years ago, when we had when I was farming together with my friend, we had a beef herd, we had a dairy herd. Hay is what we did the most of. So 15 years ago or so, we had pretty good hay equipment around here. Of course, I've still got the same equipment, and now it's 15 years older. And for the small square bales, I've got my hay conveyor with the 90-degree corner at the top. This is a miller. I bought this in 1992, I believe it was. It's a miller, but at the time I bought this, Miller had just bought out another company. I think it was Mayrath. And this was actually built by the company that Miller bought out, because the paperwork, the book and stuff that I got with it still had the other company's name on it. I think that company was Mayrath, but I'm not 100% sure because it was almost 30 years ago. Also got one of my hay racks here. This is I've got two of these double L bale cages, and I've got two double L's and one, I don't remember what brand the other one is. It's a red one. But all my bale cages, bale wagons are 8x20s. I went with the 8-foot ones instead of the 9-foots because of my hillsides around here. This bale cage I bought new, and I built the rack out of treated lumber about, probably sometime in the 1980s. This bale, like I said, this bale rack I bought new, and I built the bed. My other double L wagon I bought used, and I bought a new bale flat rack from one of the farm supply stores around here. Used to sell them. And then let's see, the red wagon I've got, I bought the cage used, and I think I bought a new bed for that at the time too. But anyway, except for my disc buying, which was in a video, and my tedder. My tedder isn't up here either. I just bought a 2-basket tedder. But except for that, that's kind of the gist of my hay equipment. So yeah, I'm baling hay here. My better half says that when she was visiting Scotland, they called these things hairy coos. So today I'm baling hay for the hairy coos. Okay, I'm back here in my baling the clover in my southeast field. Yeah, it's a little brown, but the bales look pretty good. The cows will eat it. It's been my experience that my beef cows will pretty much eat anything that doesn't bite them back anyway, so. Well, I'm on the last oats windrow. It's about 6:30. And even though I did have to run around to 4 different places, I did end up knocking out 64 bales this afternoon. So I guess that's not so bad. But we're just about to the end here. So I'm going to run back up to the buildings, park this, and call it a day. So until next time, everyone stay safe out there, and we'll see you later.